Only one more door left.
Ooh, all right. We took a little break after that last heated section over here. No pun intended.
Oh, I get it, because it's a fire.
Oh, let's go.
Actually, you can see the names of all the rooms now. That one's Scene of the Fire. Lilliput. And Building Site.
Okay.
And I believe this one is just Mickey's house or Mickey's room, if I recall correctly.
Let's check it out.
Could be mistaken on the exact name.
God, I hope there's no...
There's no cars.
more. I know there's no more cars, but I hope there's nothing else like that.
Na, 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 na. I think this is probably the easiest one, honestly. You're
I
really
hope
fine.
so.
You'll be absolutely fine.
Come on, he needs our help.
Shouldn't he be worried about getting sucked into the giant
Nah,
gaping
he's fine.
black hole?
He's fine. Don't worry about it. That moose on the wall behind you in that opening shot with just a big, bright, white eyes staring forward. Ooh! Very shocking. So I think you can hit the hole, the black hole maybe, and like reduce its strength or something? I don't remember exactly. It could just be you have to kill things. No, yeah, so you don't let the furniture get sucked away. We gotta kill the hole. There you go. Now you're good.
Okay.
Now focus on killing enemies and just go over there whenever it starts to get big again, I guess.
Gotcha.
Oh, could have used that a few minutes ago.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, jeez.
Remember, fire on these guys in the air is pretty effective, but they were too far away from you, and the black hole's back, so we want to deal with that really fast.
Yep.
There's not much furniture left.
Oh, jeez. There. Okay.
You got it.
Ooh, that was close. I didn't even notice how bad the meter was right there.
There's not much furniture left.
Huh?
There it is. Oh boy, that's bright now.
Yes. Lights. Some of the lights in this room are off now.
Listen well. On the other side of this portal, they're about to begin construction on that wretched castle. But until then, their treasured cornerstone of light lies unguarded, with all of its power still contained.
The cornerstone of light?
Yes. That cursed sphere is the very thing that prevents us from entering the castle.
Oh,
You know what must be done? Go then. Time to prove your worth. And don't dare to fail me again.
don't fail her again. Let's see. That's it. I just gotta smash that cornerstone to smithereens. But first, I gotta go get my old boat back.
It was Pete after all.
Yeah, he tricked us.
Still, something doesn't seem right.
The Pete we met here had kind of an attitude, but he didn't seem like a bad guy.
Oh, we solved the riddle.
Now that castle's as good as ours.
That's the Pete we know.
Bam, bam, bam.
Oh no! The
Whoops.
cornerstone's gone.
Uh-oh.
You guys had one job.
They're gonna fill the castle with darkness. We gotta hurry.
You guys had one job.
Hey, hold it right there.
No way, small fry. I finally found the pipsqueak what stole my steamboat.
Yeah, that was you.
Right, me. No, it wasn't me. I'm just somebody who looks like me.
Oh, which is it?
Gee, I wonder. I didn't think he was just gonna steal it. Because of all the thorns, I was like, well, maybe he plants some evil seed or something that takes so many years to grow, but
I
nah.
think that's what happens in the manga, if I recall
Really?
correctly. I'm pretty sure that's what happens in the manga. Look, look, you want to know a little secret, Joey?
What?
The manga's better. The manga's better written. Before you follow them over there, I was just gonna say, because I forgot to comment on it earlier and it's in my notes. I don't think I've even talked about it in other scenes in this game so far, but I remember we were talking about, like, you know, the cymbal sounds when, like, the fireballs were jumping around.
Yeah.
Like, the sound design on this world is fantastic. It's on point. Everything sounds like cartoony sounds like that really sound good. But you'll notice that a lot of other times, when scenes that really should be played straight are occurring, they'll have sound effects, like, not on that level, but more cartoony than they really should be. There's just the sound design in this game is really uneven, and they have a difficult time in general controlling their tone, and not just in the sound design department, in the editing department, animation department, a lot of stuff. We did talk about over exaggerated animation a couple of times previously, I think. There's something else I was gonna say, and I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, just when Pete was in that first cutscene where he was in first person and he was nodding his head.
Yeah.
All I could think about was so when Versus 13 was still a thing, Nomura talked about in interviews about how, like, he wanted to make. He was like, we saw a trailer where there was like a first-person cutscene, and he talked about there are going to be cutscenes that are in first person, and there are going to be cutscenes that are interactive. And what does that even mean, right? And the thing that I think people overlooked is the difference between Japanese game industry and Western game industry stuff, where, like, we saw scenes, for example, of like what looked like player-controlled moving around in a, you know, like in like first person, or maybe it was a cutscene, I don't know. They just talked about how there would be cutscenes that were playable. And I'm pretty sure the example they gave was a scene where young Noctis was looking for his dad, and he was walking around in first person, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that if you play this game, if the characters are talking to each other, it's because it's in a cutscene, right? But you play a game like Uncharted, or a lot of other Western games at this point, and the characters talk to each other all the time in gameplay, right?
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, but I get the feeling that in those interviews he was talking about super basic stuff that's been in games since like late PS2 days, but that was like brand new and exciting for those guys.
Oh God.
I don't want to sound like down on them or whatever, because that's just how some of their games were structured. It's just that would be what makes sense to me, because the idea of an interactive cutscene, what does that mean? Looking at how they refer to cutscenes and how they exist in these games, I'm like, maybe that was just gonna be the characters talk to each other while you're walking around.
Maybe.
Anyway, we're good now. We can
on
go.
to the waterway.
Yeah, I'm done.
Wait! Shut up! Your future's on the line, Valley, so back off and give me the boat!
The cornerstone!
After him!
Well, it looks like we lost, guys.
We've already lost.
Follow me if you wanted to.
I forget if this
Break the
sequence.
cage.
I forget if this sequence allows you to use the drive form or not, so just don't risk it, I guess. The next fight I know we can, so. This is a very simple boss fight.
Good. Ooh, is this it?
Remember when I was talking about how the speedrunners like go run over to the boat really fast? The speedrunners, like, there's like just dead time during this fight where they pick up a synth item they use to get and go ahead and hop up on there and just you're gonna whack this a little bit. Now watch out, because eventually you're gonna need to hit the triangle prompt again to hold on.
Okay.
And when that happens, just there you go. Never mind, you screwed it up.
No, I pressed the button, but it didn't register in time.
If you want, just mash triangle while you're mashing attack.
Okay.
Basically, if you stay on the hook, you never fall off, and you just kill it right there while he's stunned. Yeah, just get back over there, and
Will he get unstunned?
if you keep doing this, I don't think so. I could be wrong about that.
No.
What the heck? What are you doing, Joey?
I tried your tactic of pressing triangle and the attack button at the same time, and it didn't work.
Huh? Maybe I overestimated.
Is it hang on? Like, do you hold the button, or do you just?
I don't.
Press it?
I think you just press it. Pretty sure you just press it when the prompt appears. But it's like, so there's just dead time while you're waiting for the boat to show up at one point, so that's where people grab the item.
No.
Yeah, that's what it is. When it gets to the end, then he gets back up. So now you just gotta do this song and dance
easy
again.
part again. All right. You know, Donald, you could use some magic here.
Nah. We took off fire, remember? Well, fire isn't a projectile attack anymore. He has thunder. He could be helping, but he's not. Look at Goofy trying to hit it. Oh, actually, he threw his shield at it and did hit it.
Good stuff, dude.
There you go. You got it that time.
Okay.
which means you probably got it. Period. I don't see you not finishing this at this point. If we'd set Goofy's ranged attack to high frequency on this fight, he probably would be killing it right now.
Probably. Fantasia?
Fantasia is Donald's first limit.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Not as good as Duck Flare.
For this.
That's the cornerstone.
Yes, we know, Donald. Ugh, this script is trash. I'm sorry, like, we show up. He goes, the cornerstone! Then we spend the whole fight trying to get it, and then he goes, it's the cornerstone! I know!
What do you think we're doing, dude?
Stop!
We just... Okay.
Paul, if nobody's talking, nobody's laughing.
Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Alright. Just leave the cornerstone, it's fine.
Who cares? It's fine.
Just leave it unattended.
As long as Pete can't come get it, who cares? Not like he has accomplices. Before you walk over to them, just go into first person, because you kind of go over to the side and you can get a good look at Pete and Pete at the same time.
The battle for the ages.
They're getting ready to go. I actually think younger Pete has much better form here.
What happened to his tail?
He got it cut off in the war.
Oh no.
When Mickey banished him to an interdimensional prison, it got cut off when he went to the portal. Like, the portal closed around it. BioShock Infinite style.
No! Huh, you're still wet behind the ears.
Then try us.
Hey!
Yeah, so on this fight, do go ahead and use, this part's fine to use it on. There's a couple different phases to this, but here's just as good as anywhere. Feel free to go ahead and flip over to, or if you want, hold on to it and use it as an emergency healing option.
Okay.
Because you've also got that option. Just make sure you don't use it on, like, when we're on the last bar of health, because the whole point is to land as many hits as possible.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'll just wait till I'm low. It automatically gets me up, right?
Yeah, once you use it, if you use it right now,
Might as well.
there you go.
Now? Is this good for buffering?
You're probably good now. Yeah.
No. Jeez.
Uh-oh, we're switching phases here. But at least the gauge pauses for a second. They're generous on that front, but it's speeding up again, so there you go. Yeah, so it's going to combine elements from all of the different rooms here. We got the burning house first.
What does that triangle front do?
It's, you turn Pete around and run him into other Pete.
Cool.
Young Pete gets burned, you turn him around and he runs into old Pete. Punished Pete. He's missing the tail, right?
Yeah,
Oh, he's
you're
trundling up.
How about a change?
How about a change? Remember, you can knock those back at him if you were so inclined. He was just running straight into that wall there. Uh-oh.
What was that?
He was doing a pirouette.
Can I not use drive again?
Not yet. It's still refilling. See there?
Oh, it has to get to 3.
Yeah. I think for right now you have to be at 3 to be able to use a form. I could be mistaken about that.
What? Ah, I was too slow on that.
No worries. This
Can
is
I
not
interact
a
with those
super difficult
cannons?
fight, huh?
Can I interact with the cannons?
I don't think you can on this stage. You can check them out, but I don't think so. Pretty sure they just do their own deal this time around.
Okay.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
he's
no.
throwing bombs, just like Chicken Little does. They're actually, I don't know if they're the same models, but his bombs look very similar to the bombs that Chicken Little throws.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to use Chicken Little again in a color environment
Oh, yeah.
after we used him last time during the anime extravaganza.
Is that what we're officially calling it?
Nah, I don't know what we're gonna call it. I like the idea of calling the episode Cars Against Humanity. I think that's a good one. I don't know, we'll see.
For the very few Cars references we make during it.
I mean, no, the whole thing is about cars. I don't think we ever talk about the film
I don't think we
Cars.
ever do. We missed a golden opportunity.
talk about the film Cars?
Yeah.
I like Cars.
I do
Cars
too.
is fine. I mean, I get why people have a lot of frustration with it because it's pretty bare bones.
I'm really missing all those.
It's alright. It's the same, like, the QTE was designed for the mobs, you know,
Yeah.
for the groups of enemies, not for this guy. There you go.
Okay.
Just as the drive gauge maxed out. That was good timing there. Oh, we got Reflect. Yes!
Reflect.
Reflect is the most busted-ass broken thing in this whole game. I'll demonstrate it for you in a minute.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Maybe it'll make these things easier.
Oh,
Maybe
yes, it will.
Maybe we won't have to
If
worry
we
about
had
too many
Reflect,
cars.
we could have killed those cars.
Oh, man.
Well, that's not true. Not the initial version of Reflect. Later game Reflect, we could have finished that fight in one try without even getting hurt. Kamehameha!
What the heck?
He called the door.
And stay out!
Sora!
Yeah, I know.
Don't ask how he ever got access to the door, because it's not
I was
important.
about to say, like,
Merlin made
I
it
could
for us.
believe I could believe it just spawned in, but the fact that he can control it is a little boggling.
I'm sure that, like, you know, if they might have, you know, made resources to have an extra room that you just couldn't get to before now. Like, you know, there's a barrier, and oh, Pete broke it when he ran through, so you can finally go there now. But that's a lot of extra money to develop a location.
Who was that creep anyways?
Hello? That creep was you from the future.
Sora, that's a secret.
Secret? What kind of secret? Oh, never mind. Sorry I put you guys through all that trouble.
Yeah, well, just remember how
Oh,
And to show you my appreciation, I'll let you pilot my steamboat. Best little craft on the river. My deckhand Mickey's late anyways.
I like that bit where with the shot with Sora and Goofy, where Goofy hushes him up, because that's an example of the kind of like really good just blocking and physical interaction that a lot of these scenes don't have, because it's just characters standing around statically talking to each other.
Yeah. This is nice. Hey.
He's not going to work hard if he doesn't have to.
Nope.
He's going to run a nation someday, just like Donald Trump.
That is a neat looking key.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? It's a neat little one.
Not a very good ability.
It's not great. It's not one that I think we'll be using a lot, but it is there and it's nice. If you got it like later game and its stats were better, when you have a lot more like health to refill, but it's not that great.
Well, as long as we're here.
Donald!
Huh? Huh? Yeah. Oh, what have you done here? Let me go!
So I don't think this was executed terribly well. This is supposed to be the whole like don't be tempted to change the
Yeah.
past type thing. In the manga, he's like, wait a second, guys. You know, as long as we're here, we could do some stuff. And it's his imagination of world monuments reshaped to be Donald Duck.
Oh my
Like him on
gosh.
Mount Rushmore, him on the Statue of Liberty, you know, all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then they grab him and drag him out. Kicking and screaming.
Let me go!
Here, as well executed as I think that scene was, they didn't establish enough his intent.
Yeah.
So, oh well, doesn't matter. Look, everything is fixed now. Yay! But yeah, if I recall correctly, in the manga, Pete does plant evil seeds, and that's why the thorns are there.
Okay.
And then they just hang out and weed for a little bit, and that's how they fix the problem. After they beat Pete up, obviously. Oh, also, all that stuff, Maleficent was like, if you screw you've got one last chance to impress me, and if you screw this up, then you're done for good. Eh. This is never gonna be brought up again. This is just like any other Team Rocket scheme.
Accomplished their mission.
Let's have an acorn feast to celebrate!
We didn't really, like, as far as those thorns go, all we did was seal the other door. We didn't really...
Which prevented Pete from time travel, man. I guess it was like if we hadn't interfered, Pete would have taken the cornerstone.
Thank you so much for
Who cares?
all you've done.
Pause it for a second. It's just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Look, I think you know me well enough to know that I'm the type of person who will get on to this doesn't make sense nonsense.
Yeah.
Who cares in this case?
Fair.
This is never going to be brought up ever again. This is not important to the plot. This was let's have a level where they go to
Yeah,
Steve-O
exactly.
Willie, black and white setting. So who cares? I am very generous with this kind of stuff if lore shenanigans are happening to facilitate cool
Yeah,
scenes,
exactly.
or
That
cool
was
character
the
stuff.
coolest thing in this game so far.
Yeah, alright, we're good.
Now, boys, I hope you didn't do anything reckless while you were there.
Of course not. Daisy! Daisy, I'm back!
Who?
Very special sweetheart.
That was never brought up. Come on, there's no way that Sora never saw Donald like looking at a picture of Daisy or something like
Donald,
that.
you forgot about our date again. You'd better have a good excuse this time.
Or when he would scream for Daisy during the Olympus Cups. Sora just didn't think anything about that. He just thought he was a huge fan of the Nintendo character.
Check in every once in a while.
Damn, Daisy, he was saving the universe.
The multiverse. He's just a junior hero though, so you know, who cares?
Donald?
Just be a minute.
Going somewhere?
Of course not.
Donald!
This is the most romantic relationship it has ever been. The relationship between Daisy and Donald is one that will last for all time. The height of romance. That was the first, so the new Mickey Mouse cartoons?
Yeah.
One of the first ones that I ever saw was the one that's like almost entirely in song, and it's Mickey and Minnie running around being the perfect couple, and Donald and Daisy just bickering constantly.
Yeah.
And Mickey and Minnie try to improve their day and just make it worse, but that's how they get along. Is they just hate each other. They don't hate each other, they just argue all the time. So I like that the the special gate unlocking item can be something as unimportant as a membership pass for the Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee, or as important as a magical item that banishes all darkness from your planet. Because, by the way, now that we fixed the Maleficent problem, there are no longer any Heartless in this section of the world.
Fair.
Just in Timeless River.
Well...
I'll be back soon, Daisy.
Don't you worry, Queen Minnie. We'll return.
Almost immediately, because there are
Where's-
puzzle pieces to get.
Where's Goofy's ex-wife?
She's dead.
Oh.
I assume.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure that somebody who knows the Goof Troop lore could probably... Okay, so you haven't seen this before. So when you finish a world, like the final finishing of it, you get, like the title card appears again like it just did.
Yeah.
Because Disney Castle doesn't have a second visit, unlike most of the settings that we go to in this game.
Okay.
Alright, so with Donald's help, use the drive command to change into wisdom form.
Okay.
So I do want to demonstrate what wisdom form is, but
Okay.
I don't want to burn one of our uses on it. So in a second I will demonstrate the form and show a good place to grind that stuff. So basically this one levels up by whenever you kill a Heartless, you get 1 point of experience.
And just Heartless, not...
Just Heartless, nobody's don't count. And so
Is that... Wait a minute. Was that Pirates of the Caribbean?
yes,
Oh...
this game came out in 2005.
Oh boy, I'm not going there yet. But I
You can't go there yet.
Oh,
But
no.
yes. So this is one thing that I don't like, is that, in the other game, there's a question mark, and you do the gummy ship route, and then it comes into view. What is that? Is that, and then the title appears, and now it's like, well, now you know what it is, but you've got to wait another 10 minutes, because you got to do the gummy mission.
If it was just a
and everything
pirate
else.
boat, I would be like, I wonder.
With the massive
but-
logo on it, it's like they couldn't wait to let you know, yes, Pirates of the Caribbean is in this game, see?
Okay, where are we going?
Let's see. Let's actually run back to Disney Castle really fast,
Oh,
because
yeah.
there are some goodies to be got there. If we just go back to the Hall of the Cornerstone and go into whatchamacallit, just go into the Timeless River. Over by the pier where Pete was, there is now a skateboard which we can use to get the puzzle piece that's on top
boy.
of that tree. Because you can jump higher when you have a skateboard, kids. There's also a skateboard in here, but it's a pretty short walk, so you don't need it.
There's not really much you can do with it in here.
Not a lot, no.
The music's back.
Well, we're going back inside pretty quick, so we won't hear too much of it.
Nope.
Yeah, we should also just chat with everybody here really fast, and then I'm going to show you real quick, like I said, how Wisdom Form works. And so as you saw, there's a new cup was just added at Olympus Coliseum. You want to go the other way, not to Wharf, to Pier.
I'm trying to get off Square.
Yeah. I always forget what it is, too. I'm excited a castle's being built, but I'm gonna miss this walking course. Maybe I should ask them to build a garden to take walks in the castle. Lore! Somebody call the gamers joint. Those guys had some nerve to steal my boat. It's strange, though. He somehow seemed familiar. I can't do a good Pete. I'll have to practice on that one.
So is nobody else in here?
I also the skateboard is also different. It's just a big plank of wood. I mean, like the design is kind of similar on it, but it looks more simplified, like it's a retro skateboard. You sure come here a lot. Well, if you're looking to buy property, now's the time. Once the castle's built, land prices are gonna skyrocket. I'm glad Pete's got his boat back. It's good to see him back to his old self. But things just aren't the same without hearing that steam whistle. So there are still some random encounters here. Even though the cornerstone exists, I guess it's not amplified yet. They haven't hooked it up to, I don't know. I don't know why my brain immediately went to the, oh, ignore that.
Yeah.
Ignore that. Don't worry about that for now. Don't worry, I forgot that was there. Don't worry about that for now. We'll talk about that some other time.
Okay.
That's a mystery for later.
Mystery.
For some reason, when I was thinking of a machine that would amplify the cornerstone, that my first thought was the Mammon machine from freaking Chrono Trigger, and I have no idea why, because I don't think it has anything to do with amplifying power. But anyway, it's just, I don't know.
I mean,
I've always liked the sound of the is it Mammon machine or Mammon? Mammon?
I would say Mammon, but I'm not an expert.
I know that it had something to do with Lavos, but I forget if it was powering Lavos up or like draining Lavos' power or what, so who cares?
I don't know, those are kind of two way different things.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it was related to power and Lavos, so I mean, you know,
Okay.
Who cares? Really, at the end of the day, not that important. I don't care about lore. Not me, not frustrated Jacob. So if you just jump up there and do a couple spins, you can, just kind of, glide on top of the tree.
Oh no.
I promise you can get to it.
I believe it. I can feel it.
Believe it.
No. I will
no.
get this.
There you
we
go. Awesome.
I just needed a moment of silence.
Actually, hold on. Can you get off the skateboard for a second and go into your menu and see how are we doing on leveling for Valor? I just want to see that really fast. Go down to status.
Oh, status?
Yeah, it'll be under status and Valor. Next level in 64. 64 more freaking hits, man. Alright, so I guess next boss we'll whip it out again. Because since we have Wisdom, the counters reset. So yeah, you have to actually kill Heartless for Wisdom. Of course, its number parameter is much lower than Valor, because that's...
Right.
Excuse me, a bit harder to do.
We need to, we got some new abilities.
Yes, you're correct. Dodge slash... no, that one's terrible.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, here, you know what? Switch off your controller for a second, because I gotta demonstrate some stuff anyway. So let me grab this other one down here. Great, okay. Who cares? I'll get back out of there. Alright, so dodge slash is a combo modifier and the worst.
Okay.
So it doesn't appear to be initially bad, because it basically all it does, seemingly, is make your make you have like kind of like there's another attack in the middle of your combos where Sora kind of dances around a little bit, like kind of spins around, and don't worry, he's not gonna bother us until I bother him. That's a final mix guy. I'll talk about him later. It's a long story.
All right.
You remember the mushrooms from the first one? Now there's organization mushrooms.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so you see where Sora just kind of did that big spin there?
Yeah.
Hold on, he's not really doing it for me. There, you see that move right there?
What was that?
So that was dodge slash, where he was just kind of spinning around on the ground there. Okay, so theoretically, when dealing with mobs, and he kind of spins around like that, you theoretically get some, a decent number of hits in or whatever on a group of enemies. It is actually the worst thing ever, because while he's doing that, right?
Yeah.
The rate that he's hitting at drops exponentially. Like, he's landing way fewer hits per second or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about that move is, if you have that on during certain boss fights, bosses will recover from being staggered in the middle of your combo and just kill you immediately.
Ooh.
Like, literally, you'll be doing a combo and just get attacked because it goes on for long enough and doesn't close distance. Like, if you knock an enemy away slightly, it doesn't close distance at all. because it has that canned animation of how he steps forward. So if they're even slightly farther, you see how like I didn't close distance on that guy right away. So if you do that in the middle of a combo and you've knocked like the super boss away from you just a couple of feet, guess what? That guy's already recovered and one-shotted you. So it's total trash. And now that you've seen it, we will never use it ever again.
Gotcha.
Where was it? Dodge slash, yeah. Complete trash. That's one of the, like, retaliating slash has combat merit, but it can get you killed really easily on critical because you lose control of your character and it negates second chance or once more. Dodge slash is just straight up bad. There's so many things that are way better than it, and it literally it just leaves you open for free hits. It's not good. Alrighty. So, Wisdom Form is all around magic. That's why you're merging with Donald. That would, seem to be obvious. So this
Did
time...
you not want to put Fantasia on or whatever?
Nah. We'll write that later. So Timeless River is actually basically the best place in the entire game to grind Wisdom Form. We're not going to be able to do very well with it right now, because Wisdom Form is... because we're too low a level. Later on, when we have really high level magic and more health... and so also you upgrade your drive gauge as the game goes on so you can stay in these forms longer.
Yeah.
Later on in the game when you have more magic power and you can stay in it longer, you can do some serious damage here. Right now it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Let me double check my notes really fast and see if there's anything else that I need to be concerned about. Nah, okay. So, only the other thing I was going to say really fast is so there's a new cup at Olympus Coliseum, which we're not going to do right now because it's a bit... I know we could do it, but we're going to get once more at level 25.
Yeah.
So we might as well just wait. Anyway. So here's how Wisdom Form works. Goofy vanishes, obviously, and we have to get experience by killing Heartless, right?
Okay.
Now, what happens is when we go into this form, we're going to be in, like, kind of this, like, hoverboard state. Almost. Sora's going to be floating and going to have ice level physics. So if I go in here... Now, unlike with Valor Form, where hitting things is what gets you experience, here it's just kills. So it's actually better to do a bit of damage to these guys before you go in to save yourself some time. If they don't kill me, which they're about to.
Yep.
But it's okay. Okay. So Goofy's still in play because I've just merged with Donald. And when I come out of this, we're not going to be able to see it. His outfit is blue now. And as you can see, I've got these physics where I'm just kind of floating around. And my magic abilities are enhanced.
Oh, okay.
And I can't attack with my Keyblade, but I can shoot beams out of my Keyblade like so.
Oh, cool.
Which is only really efficient if you don't have magic left, because your magic is so good in this form. There's really no reason to not use it, unless you're just out. Okay. All right, we leveled up, but I gotta get moving.
It's really stylish. The blaster.
So the movement ability associated with this is Quick Run, which is pretty short right now. But if we hold down square here, Sora kind of dashes forward like so.
Yeah.
And that's the movement ability we're gonna get from this. Now, so when your form drains, right, it starts out at 0 again, and you got to build it back up. There are a couple of ways that you can get around this.
Okay.
If you go into it, so you know how we've noticed a couple times we've had rooms where Donald and Goofy are walking around?
Yeah.
I showed this previously when I first demonstrated Valor, where if you went back into that room on whatchamacallit, Land of Dragons, I would auto-revert and my gauge would fill back up, right? Well, going to a save point and leaving the world also counts. But when you come back down from the gummy ship, it'll be refilled, right? So guess what counts as leaving a world?
Oh, so you can just you can leave, come back, and do it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the counter still goes up. So there's a chance that you will incur the penalty. And the unfortunate thing is when you leave a room, you auto-revert from penalty state and have 0, right? So if you're trying to do this, min-maxing, you're not going into the form until you're in the room with the Heartless. So if you incur the penalty while grinding, then that's too bad. But drive recovery items are pretty cheap later on in the game, and there's other ways you can do this too. The best way to do it is get on the gummy ship, go to Olympus Coliseum, and go into one of the tournaments that lets you use drive forms, because as soon as you enter there, all your stats are refilled, and then leave and come back. You've got a lot of loading screens to go through and world map to navigate, but that's the secret to grinding in this game. To grinding to grinding Wisdom Form anyway. Okay. As far as I know, this is the most efficient way to handle this. And by the time that you've got stronger magic, and your your whole your gauge is longer, you can get through all 4 of these rooms and get back out. If you're that good, like me. But anyway, so the other new thing we got is Reflect, which is not as good now as it will be later in the game. But here's how it works. The sound effect on it is a little bit messed up. You know, I'll go back outside really fast just to show... I'm not going to go into wisdom form right now because I don't want to incur the counter in a room with no enemies.
Yeah.
Take my word for it that it's blue. Here's a render of Sora in wisdom form on screen right now. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he looks like.
Can it just be hand-drawn by me?
Sure.
Just...
Yeah. All right, we'll put that in.
I'll draw a stick figure, but for the torso, I'll use the blue marker.
Alrighty, so, here's Reflect. It looks kind of like, I mean, this is clearly, Reflect has been a spell in, like, Final Fantasy and stuff, like all the other spells. It's looked this way in, like, it looked this way in Kingsglaive, except it was, like, kind of directional. It's looked this way in a couple of the other Final Fantasy games. So the idea is that you can spam this, right? Like, I can tap it over and over again to make it continually appear.
Yeah.
Right now, it's pretty small around Sora. In fact, you'll notice that his foot is still clipping outside of it, right?
Uh-huh.
So right now, it's not a super effective defense mechanism, because even if you can spam it a few times, it's associated with the length of your combo, just like all the other magic spells in this game. And you'll notice that if I try and do it a bunch, after the last one, there's a gap. See there?
Yeah.
So if you just try to spam Reflect right there, right in that moment, you'll get owned. Like if you're surrounded by enemies and you're just mashing it over and over again, right there you'll just get obliterated. Well, that's a great question, Joey, and I'll go demonstrate it for you.
Okay.
So in the first place, it negates damage.
That's good.
There is, as far as I know, there are no moves in this game that can break Reflect. Now, because it only comes up very briefly, and because you only use it so many times, it's not an easy catch-all for avoiding anything, right?
Yeah.
But it is really strong. As it levels up, the shield gets bigger. I don't think that right now there's like moves you aren't protected from because it's smaller. I think it's just that it reaches wider around you and catches attacks. Because it doesn't just negate damage on you. If we, You see that explosion that just came back out of me? Any damage that is incurred onto the Reflect bubble is splashed back outwards in an AoE attack.
Okay.
And that Reflect damage can penetrate, most of the time, enemies who are currently in an invincible state, including but not limited to those cars when they're at full speed.
So we could have literally just left and
So you see that?
Oh, man. So we could have just left and grinded it out a little.
No, because we got it when we beat that last event.
Oh, okay.
Magic spells are from events, not from leveling.
Thank God.
No, if we had been that close to getting Reflect, I would have just gone for it. Because I know how much easier it is to fight those guys with Reflect. Because you don't have to. Because it's much. Remember when I was saying that like blocks relevance is somewhat negligible in this game?
Yeah.
It's because Reflect is so good.
If you could just put Reflect on like Square, you'd be good.
Well, I've got it on O right now, but you can't. You
I
use
mean
it
just
to replace
like
this.
yeah.
Now the thing is that there are some benefits to this that you don't have with Reflect. Number one, no MP cost.
Well, yeah.
Number two, well, it doesn't come out quite as fast. I think that the iframes last slightly longer on a single cast. I could be wrong about that. Maybe not so much, but so Reflect has a set duration essentially. You know how when we block, it can continue to block an attack?
Yeah.
Now, oftentimes, Reflect will full-on stop an attack, and they'll bounce off of it like they just hit a wall or something.
Yeah.
Like the same way that I do when I, go like so. But for enemies that won't do that, sometimes you gotta hit Reflect a bunch to keep eating that damage. Whereas doing this, you can usually, oftentimes you can just ride out that attack if it's of the type that can handle. And there's certain moves where speedrunners would want to be able to do this and then immediately do the counter guard thing to do that splash damage and then follow up with another attack. So there's benefits to both. But anyway, it's fixed securely, so it won't move. It must keep the master warm when he's home. It's all snowing outside. Very nice. It's fixed securely, so it won't move. Oh, it's Christmas time.
Oh.
And there's a moose. Or a deer.
Really makes you wonder the continuity of the world.
Something about those eyes say moose to me.
Yeah, but also don't forget that Mickey Mouse is an animal.
I know. No, I remember. I wasn't ignoring what you said. I was just commenting about why is it a deer and not a moose? I think those eyes say
he
moose.
looks like a moose.
It's all just says it's fixed securely so it won't move. Lame. Boring. Whatever. Alrighty. So if we go over here, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I'm going to try and use that Reflect move on our car friends so you can see what that looks like. And I'm gonna try and do it while in wisdom form. Oh, look, here they all are. The gang's all here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, see, now, like, there I'm just kind of wasting my MP because nobody's coming in to hit me.
Yeah. Still, though,
So I think, yeah, if you notice, they're in their invincible state right now, but,
You're still doing
but
damage.
these bolts are doing damage to them.
Jeez.
Now, this was not a good usage of this, because I didn't get a lot of kills, but whatever.
Yeah, but still, like, this form is
I gotta
great.
go, I gotta get out of here, because I'm gonna lose it. Oh, crud. Go. Go, sword. Go. Oh, no. I'm not gonna make it. Okay. I've done this a lot. I made a lot of last-minute dashes for this door with almost no form left. There we go. Awesome.
Good
Nailed
stuff.
it. Alrighty, I want to see what I got from leveling up, because I wasn't paying attention. I think I just got auto form, which, as we discussed, is trash.
Yeah,
and I don't want it. But, so yeah, we'll eventually get quick run, like what I was doing there, that little forward dash. And that was essentially meant to be the replacement for dodge roll in this game. It's not as good. Once it's fully leveled, you can get a lot more distance out of that than dodge roll, but its iframes are weird, and its stopping speed is odd and can leave you exposed, so it's not as good of a dodging mechanism. Yeah, it was just auto wisdom. Alrighty. Next level 20. Next level 64. Gosh. Alrighty, whatever. What do we got? Yeah, just so we can see that really fast. So it's, you know, it's got a slightly more color, more like it's kind of a bronzy, you know, copper. Not bronzy, like, you know, copper shade. A little bit with that kind of green tinge to it, very slightly. Or maybe that's just my monitor.
Who knows?
No. It's a little bit there. But yeah, and then it's a little bit more, you know, black and white in that room, obviously. But it's still got this coloration even on the outside. Now, if I recall correctly, there is a puzzle piece out here in the hallways of Disney Castle, but I do not believe there's a skateboard in the room that I need to get to it. Let me go check. Because if there was a skateboard, I'm sure I could access it, because anything is possible with a skateboard. I love that the game, like, this is another place where it feels like the game is admitting defeat in its level design. Like, the room is only this big because that was the way that it was in the cutscene in KH1, so it's like, well, here's a skateboard.
Yep, go fast.
I mean, I know that there's nothing to do in this room, but it's like, why not just make me walk across it? I don't know, I'm sure that I'd be complaining if I did have to do it, but it's just like, well, then why'd you make the room? I don't know.
Look, they had they put a skateboard in, and they're like, no, we are gonna use this.
There's no skateboard in this room, so I can't go get the puzzle piece that I was talking about. I can go talk to Minnie and Chip and Dale really fast, and that's I believe where we'll end this one for now. This might actually be 2 episodes, depending on how I cut this. We'll see. Or it's another long one to follow up the anime extravaganza.
Oh boy.
Daisy's here too.
So anime. We all watch it.
The king
What's
is out
the deal
there
with
somewhere
it?
doing all he can. What's the deal with anime? What's it all about? Cowboy Bebop sitting at his computer.
Why are their eyes so far apart?
They look white. Why are their eyes so big? They all look like they're white. I don't understand. I can't watch this. I'll do my best too, but most of all, we need your help. Where'd she go? She vanished. There she is.
There she is.
I found the most lovely place. I'm sure Donald will like it, so hurry back, okay? And come back in one piece. I was talking with Aiden a little bit about those Mickey Mouse shorts. And, like, this is something we can talk about more later. I was going to talk about it earlier, but we didn't have time, and now we're almost at the end of an episode, so maybe we'll talk about it. We'll talk about, like, during Gummy Missions in a minute here or something. But, presentation of these characters.
Uh-huh.
You know, they, like, in the Mickey Mouse cartoons and stuff, they've actually allowed them to go off-model.
Yeah.
And, you know, make bizarre, freaked-out faces, which is very atypical for how Mickey and crew have been presented recently, because they're, for, like, the last couple of decades, because they're so valuable as brand icons.
Oh, yeah.
That we can't afford to mess with that imagery and make them look weird. But in the Mickey Mouse shorts, there are several bits where Minnie looks, I'm not going to say freakish, because that's not the accurate characterization, but, like, she makes really bizarre faces that you wouldn't have expected them to make, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking with Aiden about the only character who never goes off model, except for, like, in, like, one time, is Daisy. And even that's in character, because Daisy would never allow herself to look bad.
Exactly.
If you defeat an enemy quickly... Hold on, which one is this? Oh, yeah. If you defeat an enemy quickly in a gummy battle, sometimes another enemy appears. It's more work for you, but you might encounter a rare enemy.
A rare enemy?
Yeah, enemies that drop rarer loot and give you bonus objectives and stuff like that. We'll design up a gummy ship while you're collecting gummies. Gather as many as possible. We'll let you know when a plan is ready. That's wonderful. That's just swell, guys. Really appreciate it. You guys are real workhorses. The real workhorses of the gummy industry.